Hello, and welcome to Live Vedanta, a podcast about simple living and high thinking, featuring insights from Sri Vivek Gupta, who is the resident guide of Chinmaya Mission Niagara and Chinmaya Mission Cleveland. Okay, you may have heard me mention this in a previous episode, but registration is still open for Chinmaya Mission Niagara's courses. We have several opportunities to bring self-reflection within community to your weekly schedule. Check out chinmayaniagara.com for more details on what's available for registration. But in particular, I want to highlight Seeking Culture. Seeking Culture is our space for young adults. That includes some of our high school students, but also college students and young professionals up to age 28. It's a place where we can ask some of the trickier questions about life and living that might be harder in a broader community. And together we're exploring Hanuman Chalisa and how it applies to our day-to-day lives under the guidance of Sri Sumanji. Now, the cool thing about Seeking Culture, and the reason I am mentioning it now, is that some of the young adults from Seeking Culture have produced a really cool back-to-school series of podcasts that all of you will get to listen to at the start of Season 8. These are conversations with various guides across Chinmaya Mission that focus on questions that are most pressing for young adults. So I can't wait, and I can't wait for all of you to hear it, so stay tuned. But let's end this season by focusing on Puja, honoring true greatness in a way that humbles the ego and uplifts the spirit. Reverence starts with active listening, evolves to active reflecting, then actively living by the example of the wise. A true guru or guide helps us to be happier and in turn raise happier children. So let's tune in.
Hari Om and greetings from Niagara Falls. Parenting is really an expression of caregiving. Parenting tends to be more specific, but caregiving is the principle behind parenting. To engage in caregiving, there needs to be understanding. The way that if I happen to go to the hospital, they have to know my blood type, my allergies, all of those kinds of things. That understanding is required for there to be medical treatment. Now, with caregiving, this is difficult. And the difficulty lies with sometimes we become very I-centered rather than care receiver-centered. And if we could just be more care receiver-centered, what would happen is we would be more courageous. If I know the utility, the welfare, the benefit for whom I'm caring for, whether I like it or not, I will follow through. And this has been very much the design of this space and time. Parenting culture, caregiving culture, understanding culture, courageous culture. The word courage is a very profound word. It's a popular word, and so people like to use it a lot. But how do you actually become courageous? We are fortunate that we have access to a system to follow for us to become courageous. That system in the big picture is the Ramayana. It is the details of one who is an icon of courage. Within the Ramayana, there is Vibhishana Gita. It is a portion of the Ramayana where Sri Rama is directly sharing with Sri Vibhishana to stop his tears of fear. That's a song, I believe. And translate that into tears of joy, into tears of joy. And when we think of Ramayana and Vibhishana Gita and the context relating to this, It is very much about war. It is about fighting. And I like how our historical texts like Ramayana and Mahabharata relate to this because every day is a fight for us. Every week is a battle. Every month is a war. But not outwardly, but rather inwardly. I know I should be kind, but I get angry. I know I should be disciplined with my sleep hygiene, but I tend to indulge at night. There's that fight, that battle, that war. And so Sri Rama, he shares with Sri Vibhishana, my chariot, my armor, my weapons are not external, but they're internal. And he goes about sharing a set of values. And whenever we come across a set of values, whether from Ramayana or Bhagavad Gita's chapter 13, etc., what our rishis, what our social scientists are trying to do for us is for this to become our value set or value system. In the Ramayana Vibhishana Gita, there are 31 values in this set. These are what these 31 values are. You have full access to this in your commentary on Vibhishana Gita, in your Courageous Parenting Workbook. But for the sake of thoroughness, I am going to read each of these out in English right now. As I'm doing this, flow through your notes to make sure that these are all enlisted well, accurately. Number 1, courage. 2, determination. 3, integrity. 4, nobility. 5, stamina. 6, prioritization. 7, discipline. 8, empathy. 9, forgiveness. 10, kindness. 11, balance. 12, surrender. 13, independence. 14, contentment. 15, generosity. 16, understanding. 17, conviction. 18, integration. 19, steadiness. 20, this was the first of the arrows, shama or quietude. 21, this was the second of the arrows, which was the yama. It's listed as yama, but there are 5 yamas, so we open this up. So 21, non-harming. 22, non-possessing. 23, non-arrogating. 24, non-indulging. 25, we experienced this with our Loving Earth workshop last night, non-compromising. Then 26, we got into the niyamas. There are 5 don'ts, then 5 do's. The first of the do's, understand. 27, organize. 28, discipline. 29, devote. And 30, what was 30? Smile. If you followed through with these 29, then 30, you will smile. That is santosha. I'm going to read to you what is shared in our parenting culture book in terms of the application for smile. Think about your self-development journey. Gather feedback from at least 3 people about the person you were early in your journey. Compare that feedback with who you are today as both a seeker and a caregiver. So by show of hands, if you were to apply that application in the next 2 hours, you were to ask 3 people who know you well, how many of you feel they would strongly agree that you have become a more courageous personality? Strongly agree that you've become more courageous. Okay. Moderately agree. Okay. Lightly agree. Okay. Disagree. Would anyone disagree? Okay. So all of you had your hand up for agree to some sort of extent. Now we get into the very, very, very last value in this set of values to become our value system. I'm chanting from Vibhishana Gita from Ramayana. Kavacha abheda bipra guru puja. Kavacha, this means armor. Abheda means incomparable. There is nothing as strong as. Bipra, which really means vipra, is someone who's knowledgeable. Guru, because there's that second word there, someone who's knowledgeable, someone who's experienced. Puja, which is a very popular name, means revere. There is no armor that is stronger than revering those who are knowledgeable first and those who are experienced second. I'd shared with all of you earlier, and I'm sharing it one more time. When it comes to those who are great, you will know that they're great if you feel humbled by them and then inspired by them sequentially. First humbled, that's that ego check. It's like dissolving the ego, but then inspired, it's to allow that spirit to be free. Now, with the great, how should I relate to them? Respect, love, and finally, reverence. Respect is active listening. Love is active learning. And reverence is active living. The way that a knowledgeable person lives, I start to live. But knowledge can stay in books. Knowledge can stay as theory. And that's why the second word is so important in terms of a guru. Someone who doesn't have knowledge in books, but knowledge in themselves. Someone who doesn't live at a theory level, but at an application level. That's the active living aspect. If you had a tabla teacher in your life, it's because you want to be a better tablist, correct? If you had a consultant in your life for supply chain management, it's because you're confused about tariffs. If you have a guru in your life, it's because you want to be better in all ways. Specifically, you want to be happier. And that's exactly what you want for your child, for those who you're caring for too, correct? Don't you want them to be more disciplined, respectful, secure, etc., and finally happier? So revere is to actively live the way those who are knowledgeable, but even better than that, those who are experienced. And this is a perfect conclusion to Vibhishana Gita because Sri Rama is sharing with Sri Vibhishana, this is work for me. Now I'm about to begin this fight, and do you think I'm going to lose this fight? You thought I was, but I'm not going to. And that's where Sri Vibhishana's tears shift from tears that are hot because there's so much sadness to tears that are cool because there's so much courage, so much joy. Ehi sama bijaya upaya na duja. Sri Rama finally shares with Sri Vibhishana, all that I've shared, this is the only way to be victorious. There is no other way. So for all of us, when it comes to courageous parenting, this is the only way. To be knowledgeable about values and then to be experienced with virtues. I offer my prayers to Sri Rama, to Sri Vibhishana, to continue to grace all of us with the understanding that this is the only way. All other ways are hacks, are impermanent. This is the only way to be a parent, caregiver with understanding and courage.
If you enjoyed what you heard or want to learn more, share this episode with a friend or find us online at facebook.com/cmniagara. For those on the journey of self-development, Chinmaya Mission Niagara provides a community forum for seekers to listen, reflect, and contemplate. This podcast is produced by the Young Adults of Chinmaya Mission, an international nonprofit working to transform individuals through the knowledge of Vedanta. Until next time, inspire, love, be.